Good day, and thank you very much for joining me in this discussion on understanding qualitative research in education. In this discussion, we will look on the qualitative research versus the quantitative research. We will also look into the case study research design, the features, data collection methods, and the ethical considerations. Qualitative research is a rigorous technique that helps us deeply understand human behavior, experience, and social phenomena. Quantitative research aims at numerical data and statistical analysis, whereas qualitative research is directed at the meaning and context of human behaviors. In education, qualitative research can potentially provide insights into teaching and learning, the experiences of the students and teachers, and the cultural influences on education. There are several reasons why researchers would prefer a qualitative design over a quantitative design. First, a qualitative research facilitates a more detailed investigation of complex topics. It also comes in handy when the researcher is interested in understanding participants' perspectives, motivations, and also their experiences. For example, in research on how students experience their learning environment, qualitative method can pick up themes not highlighted by quantitative questionnaires. On the other hand, quantitative research is restricted to established variables and requires measurable data. Such a design sometimes fails to capture the extent of human experience. As such, qualitative research is used whenever one seeks to explore phenomena in depth but not quantify them. As I mentioned, we'll also look at the case study research design. Case study research is a qualitative research that involves a thorough study of a particular case in its natural environment. This case can be an individual, organization, group, or an event. The primary objective, however, is to understand the case's complexity in depth. The features or some of the features of a case study research design is the close analysis, the contextual understanding, and the multiple data sources. So in close analysis, the case studies provide ample room for analyzing the subject of interest and bringing into focus the whole picture and perspectives surrounding that subject. Case study research design provides a contextual understanding where researchers examine the case based on the context and explain how various factors influence the outcomes. With regards to the multiple data sources that the case study research features, case studies often employ multiple data collection methods, and these collection methods may include interviews, observations, and document analysis, and these can be triangulated. So, the data collection methods with regards to a case study research design, which includes the interviews. So, interviews typically can be semi-structured or unstructured, which allows participants to express their feelings, experiences, motivations, emotions, views, perspectives in their own words and also give them a more sense of comfort. For observations, they are The participants are observed in their natural settings and provide a context and rich detail about the behaviors and the interactions based on the subject. Document analysis. So the document analysis involves reviewing available documents for the case, such as academic records, reports, or personal diaries, and these documents will be able from these documents, information will be obtained based on the subject that is being studied. These methods are chosen because they introduce diverse viewpoints and facilitate a better understanding of the case to be researched. Applying different data sources enhances the validity and credibility of the findings. Now we're going to look at the ethical considerations. The ethical concerns are significant during case study research. Researchers need to ensure that they obtain informed consent, and this is where participants must be thoroughly informed about the study, the aim of the study, and the use of their data. Consent needs to be collected before the data is collected. The researcher should also ensure confidentiality. Research must keep participants' identities and sensitive data confidential. This can be done by anonymizing the data or using pseudonyms or fictitious names. The researcher must be attentive to power relations. Researchers should be attentive to any power disparity between the researchers and the participants, especially in academic settings. Attention to power relations avoid prospective biases and builds trust. The researcher should also think about any potential harm that the research may cause. One should consider whether the research will likely cause emotional or psychological injury to the participants. Researchers must implement steps to minimize potential harm and also offer support if required. Qualitative research in our case through case study design is an essential resource in educational research. Qualitative research provides rich and contextual information that can inform educational practice and policy. By carefully considering the methods for data collection and the ethical implications, researchers can add valued knowledge to the field of education. Thank you very much for discussing with me.